Hi, my name's Phil and I'm bringing this old canoe stern motorboat back to life. Her name's Jabiru, she's 32 feet long and she's 90 years old. In episode 28 I detailed what the changes to the exhaust pipe outlet needed to be, so I won't repeat them here. I'll just show you this picture of what I'm replacing and then I'll get ahead and start doing it. I'm going to weld a short piece of 50mm copper tube into the outlet, and from there it will be a 90-degree copper elbow, then a bent piece of copper tube connected to flexible exhaust tubing to the muffler, and then finally to the engine. You'll see all these parts come together eventually. First I must centre the outlet in a 4-jaw chuck in the lathe so it can be turned out to accept the 50mm copper tube. Centering it in the chuck always takes a little time, but it's worth the effort in the end. I always mark the jaw nearest to me and then loosen that jaw and then the top one. This is an old habit and it's very useful if the work needs to be fitted back into the chuck for any reason, as it will remain very close to centred.
I've plugged one end of this. Now I'm going to fill it up with sand and do a bend. I reckon it'll take 10 tins of sand to fill this up.
The only way to hold copper tube like this is in soft jaws, same diameter as the tube, otherwise it'll just crush.
I've made a rough idea of how much I want this bent, and that's it there, so I'll use that as a guide.
The tube is now annealed, and even though it was full of sand, it still deforms slightly when it's bent. So one of those soft jaws is purpose made to bring the tube back to an approximate circular shape.
Good, that's not too bad. I'll just let that pull down by itself, and that'll be it. Well, there's that piece of tube that I bent, the elbow, the joiner, and the fitting to the outside of the boat
So that's the original. What I've done is I've added a little lip here in the hope that as the last exhaust gas dribbles out, the water dribbles out, it doesn't leave a stain on the boat. It should drip straight off. So there's how it's going to end up looking. In making this, I had to make sure that I could actually get it in and out of the boat in one piece. So it's reasonably easy to get in and out. Needs a little bit of a jiggle here and there. But then that's how it looks in the end. I'm hoping this little drip tray will do the honours and keep the carbon from dribbling down the side of the boat. So look, that's all there is for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.